PGDsystem.com has really evolved into the perfect presentation. I'm personally in love with it. And the thing that I love about it the most is that it is so powerful in that every last person, even the shyest, newest person, can give a perfect presentation every single time just by using PGDsystem.com. Now, here's a trick, though. I don't send people to go to PGDsystem.com to watch it on their own. You know, maybe you've experienced some of the same frustration where you send a person, say, hey, just go to PGDsystem.com and watch the videos, and then we're going to get back on the phone. And then you try to get them back on the phone, and you can't. Here's my theory about what happened. When they told you they would go look at it, they had good intentions. They meant well. They meant to go do it. But when they sat down at the computer, their kids came and had some homework challenges, or their spouse, their wife, or their husband, you know, called them up and said, hey, I need you to do this for me, do that for me, come see this, whatever. You know, something else came up that they didn't do it. And they intended to get back to it, and then you know what? It became the next day and the next day. And now you're calling to follow up, and they're a little bit embarrassed because they didn't keep their word. So what do? They don't answer your phone call. And that just gathers momentum, and it just keeps getting bad, right? And so this is why I like to walk people through the PGDsystem.com. That's why I do the invitation where I ask them for 30 minutes. And some of you guys might be saying, well, what if it's a Facebook friend? You want to try to get them from Facebook to phone as quick as possible. You know, you can even type some of that into your Facebook, but your objective is to get them from Facebook to phone or from Facebook to face-to-face as quickly as possible so that you can walk them through the PGDsystem.com presentation. So ask them for 30 minutes or invite them to the webinar, right? Okay, so here's how we go with the 30-minute PGD system presentation, okay? Because this is how you're going to go director. You know, how do you go director? Well, first you got to get people to look. So we went over the invitation. And now, if you've got people to agree to look, you've got to give them a presentation. And if you're not putting them on the webinar or inviting them to a presentation that one of these superstars are doing for you, then what do? You do it yourself with PGDsystem.com. So here's how it goes. You get your person on the phone at the scheduled time, and you say, great. You say, great, fantastic. I'm glad that you are I'm glad that you're available, you know, that we're able to keep our appointment here and get going. Here's what I want you to do. Is your computer on? Is your internet up? Great. I want you to go to PGDsystem.com. Okay, that part's kind of obvious, right? And by the way, people tend to sometimes transpose the D and the G. So I like to say P is in point, G is in guide, D is in direct, system.com. Okay, PGDsystem.com. And by the way, guys, let's have some pride in our system. Don't say P is in Paul, G is in guide, D is in dog. No! P is in point, G is in guide, D is in direct. Okay? All right, now, say, great. So here's what we're going to do. You see this is laid out in 4 steps. And each step has a video. We're going to watch the video together. Okay? And let's see, who's going to be my person for this part here? Let me see. Who do we have on here? I'm going to use Italia Johnson from the Bahamas. Okay, so Italia, you're going to be my person here. I'm going to say, so Italia, it's laid out in 4 steps. Each step has a video. We're going to watch the video together. All right? So why don't you go ahead and click on step 1. Now, this first video is 3.5 minutes long. And what it's going to do, Italia, is it's going to give you an overview of the company and the products directly from the CEO. You're going to really like this video. So go ahead and turn up your speakers, push play, and I'll sit here and wait for you. That's it. Here's what I want you to do, guys, right now. If you believe that you can do what I just said, hit the question box in the control panel and just type in, I can do that, okay? So, again, while you guys are typing, Italia, this first video, it's 3.5 minutes long. It provides an overview or an introduction to the company and the products directly from the CEO. You're going to love it. Go ahead and turn up your speakers and push play, and I'm going to wait here for you while you watch it. All right, let me just see what I got here. I'm getting all sorts. Thank you, I love this. Great, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Everybody agrees I can do it, right? Because it's just that simple. This is something that absolutely everybody can do. And I know we've got rock star presenters out there like Kenny Santos, and Nina Track, and Owen Burroughs, and all the Julie Krieger, and Zhang and Core. We've got all these rock stars. But you know what? This is something that everybody can do. You no longer have to wait for your upline to come do a presentation for you, because you can take somebody to pgdsystem.com, you can point guide, direct them, and say, step one is 3.5-minute video, introduction to the company and the products. You're going to love it. Go ahead, push play. I'll sit here and wait for you. And what you do is you put your phone on mute, and you let them watch the video. Okay? If they try to talk to you during the video, shush them. Shh. You don't want to miss this. Pay close attention. If you hear their kids come in the room and distract them, take yourself off mute and tell them, hey, Italia, go ahead and push pause. I don't want you to miss this, and deal with your kids, and then you can come back and push play again, right? Because you don't want them to miss that, okay? So you want to make sure that they see how important it is. So after they watch that first video, here's what you say. These are the magic words. You ready? Italia, wasn't that amazing? What did you like most about what you just saw? Not what did you think. We don't care what you think. We love it. We know it's solid. We just want to know, what did you like? Wasn't that amazing? What did you like most about what you just saw? And so Italia says, man, I really like that, people seem like they're making some good money here, living a great lifestyle. I like that. And you know what I'm going to say? Yeah, I like that too. Because whatever they like is the right answer. Agree with them. Don't fight with them. They're telling you when they answer that question, they're telling you what they need. I love Tyler. Tyler just question boxed me. He says, even a 5th grader can do this. Absolutely, Tyler. And you know what I want you to do, Tyler? Tyler, I want you to do a presentation, just like I'm showing, and I want you to get back to me and let me know so we can let everybody know that not only can a 5th grader do it, a 5th grader has done it. Okay? It's fantastic, Tyler. So that's your challenge. You and Dad, you guys find somebody for you to present to. But what did you like most about what you just saw? Fantastic. Now, we're not going to get into a long conversation here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to transition to step 2, right? So here's how you do that. You say, okay, great. Well, then let's go on to step 2. Because you heard Stuart talk about the products. And now I want you to get an introduction to those products. Step 2 has 2 videos back to back. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. They're going to give you an introduction and an explanation of the product. So go ahead and push play. I'll wait for you. Isn't that great? I'm going to say that again while you guys question box me. If you think you can do that, right, because that one might have been a little bit more difficult than the first one. If you think you can do that, go ahead and question box me. I can do this, all right? I want to know if you can do it. Question box me and let me know I can do it, all right? In the meantime, I'm just going to say it again to Italia. So Italia, we're going to go to step 2. Because step 2 is going to introduce you to some of those products, the main product that Stuart talked about there, okay? Now, there's 2 videos back-to-back in step 2, 4 minutes and 45 seconds total. They explain the product. So go ahead and push play, and I'm going to wait for you, okay? Let me see who can do this. Let me see in the question box here. Can everybody do this? Let's see. Too easy, Lesma says from Bahamas. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Sure can. I can do it. You're funny, somebody says. We can do that too. I can and will do it. That's the one I really like, Anthea. Absolutely. Right? It really is this simple. I just don't think most people realize that they could do it this way. Right? So that's step 2. Anybody want to guess what we're going to say once the video is over? Because I'm going to put myself on mute while Italia watches the video. When she's done, I'm going to say, wasn't that fantastic? So you guys thought I was going to say amazing. But you got to have a couple of different words. Wasn't that fantastic? What did you like most about that? Then I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to listen to what Italia says she likes. And you know what she's going to say? She's going to say, well, I like that people are losing weight. But you know what I really like? I like that it's not just weight. I mean, it looks like the doctors were saying that it's helping people with their diabetes, and their blood pressure and their cholesterol. I think that's great because you know what? My grandma has diabetes. Or, they told me I've got diabetes or I'm pre-diabetic. And I didn't realize that. And I've been looking for something to do. And I've been struggling. And she's going to go on and on and on and on and on. And I'm going to let her. She might say, I like that it's easy. It's not a diet. You don't have to starve yourself. You can still eat the foods that you like. People get all that from those 2 videos. Because you know what it is? It's the 2-minute testimonial video followed by the how to use Slim video. And they play back-to-back immediately. It's perfect combination, right? And so people get that. And then, sometimes what you can do at that point in time is you can tell 1 or 2 stories from the Monday night call. So make sure when you get on the Monday night call, you're writing down the stories. Folks, this is how you go director. Simple presentation, right? Simple presentation. This only takes 30 minutes. It actually really takes 20 minutes. I say 30 minutes to allow for interruption from the kid. All right. Now it's time to go to step 3. And I say to Italia, well, Italia, now that you understand how big this product is, right, because obesity, heart disease, diabetes, massive market, okay, can you see why we're making so much money? And you know what everybody says to that? Yeah, this is huge. I say, great. So I tell you what, let's go to step 3. In step 3, what we've got here is a 5-minute video. It's got stories from people just like us who are making money with this. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and push play, and I'll wait for you. And sometimes I'll even throw in, because I want to make sure, if I get a little feeling that my prospect might have a little bit of attention deficit disorder, I'm going to say to them, and you know what my favorite one is? My favorite one is Todd Smith. When you hear the kind of money that he made, it's going to blow your mind. It's the last one, so pay real close attention so you don't miss it. And by the way, when I say that, what did I just do? I just made them pay attention for 5 minutes, right? But whether I say that or not, it's just so simple. This video, 5 minutes, stories just like from people just like us who are making money. Go ahead, push play. I'll wait for you. Hey, guys, I want to know, can you do this? Let me see. Let me see what you got here. Go ahead and use that question box. Let me know. Can you do this? Does that make sense to you? Do you feel like this is something that you can do? The Bahamas is screaming right now. I mean, they're like, yes, we can do it. Absolutely everybody is saying this is something that they can do. As a matter of fact, I love Dexter. Dexter says, it's mine already. He owns it, right? Absolutely. And Thea says, I definitely can do it. Certainly I can do this. Randy Gilbert says, I will do it. Absolutely. Everyone can do this, Nora says from the Bahamas. As a matter of fact, Leslie says, I'm ready to do it right now because it's just that simple. Because who's doing all the talking? Who's doing the heavy lifting? The videos. All right. Now, when it's over, of course, you guessed it, wasn't that amazing? I'm going to go back to amazing because my vocabulary is very limited. I've only got amazing and fantastic. So this time I say, wasn't that amazing? What did you like most about that? And here's a crazy thing. If you've ever watched that video, and I hope you have, there's all sorts of people in there, right? All sorts of different races, nationalities, people from different countries, single people, married people, divorced people, all old people, young people, so there's somebody there that's going to resonate. You've got people who are kind of common laborer type people, and you got people who are ultra professional type people. You got people who made little money, you got people who made big money. You got medical professionals and non-medical professionals. That video is strategically put together to catch everybody. Now, you want to know what typically happens at the end of that video? Now the questions start. This is where people start to ask, well, what does it cost to get started? How do you make the money? Now they have detailed questions. And now is when I'm comfortable with giving them an assignment to go and watch something, right? Because my 30 minutes are just about up at this point. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, they say, well, what's it cost to get started and all this kind of stuff. I say, well, great questions, Italia. Those are the right questions to be asking. And by the way, folks, learn how to agree with people. Not in a patronizing way, right, but in an agreeable way. Great questions, Italia. Those are exactly the right questions to be asking. And now that you understand the company, the products, and the size of the opportunity, I got a question for you. Do you think that it would be worth another 30 minutes so that you can get the details about how the money works exactly and what it takes to get started? Invariably, I get, yeah, that would make sense. Absolutely. I said, great. Well, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you a homework assignment. I want you to click on step 4. Now, when you get to step 4, you'll notice that step 4 has 3 parts to it. It's a recording of our Wednesday webinar, and it gives all the details. You do not have to watch part 1 because the 3 videos we've already covered, that we've already watched, they pretty much cover the information in part 1. But you do want to watch part 2 and part 3. And combined, they'll take you about 30 minutes to do it. They explain the money. They explain your options for getting started. So when will you watch it? About 75% of the time, guess what people tell me? Well, I'll watch that right now. All of a sudden, they're extremely motivated to go ahead and watch it, right? And the ones who can't watch it right now, then what we do is we schedule a different time for them to watch it. We say, okay, well, when will you watch it? They say, well, you know what, I got to leave now and got to do X, Y, and Z. But you know, I'm going to watch this tonight. I'm going to put my kids to bed, and I'm going to do that. And you know, guys, what you want to do? You want to ask a question. Well, what time is that? And say 8:30. So, okay, great, 8:30. I tell you what. That means that if you start at 8:30, you should be done by about 9, right? So if I call you at 9:15, you'll be all finished. So why don't I call you at 9:15, and that way I can answer all your questions and see where we can go from there. And even if they say, I'll watch it right now, I say, great, what time is it? Okay, let's say it's about 10 minutes to 11. So, 30 minutes. If I called you at about 11:30, 11:35, you'd be finished, right? Awesome. Well, why don't I do that? I'm going to call you back at that time, write down any questions that come up as you go along, and we'll go over that information. And by the way, you know what I do at that point in time? That's when I call my upline. That's when I call my, the person who's helping me with my 3-way calls. If you're brand new, here's a trick. I'm, Samantha Janvin, she's my enroller, so I'm going to call her and I'm going to say, hey, Sam, I've got Atalia Johnson watching part 2 and part 3 on step 4 right now. I'm supposed to call her back at 11:35. Can you be available to make that call with me to help answer her questions? Isn't that cool? That's all you do. Maybe you're working with Wade and Lori. Maybe you're working with, Kenny Santos or any of these other leaders, right? And you just text them, or maybe you've got 3 or 4 different people who can help you. Text all 3 of them. Text Julie, text Marshall. Hey, Marshall, do you think you can be available in 30 minutes? If you're working with Marshall, then if you're working with me too, so you text us both. Hey, can one of you guys be available in 30 minutes? And now you call back with your upline on the phone to this highly motivated person who's really impressed at this point because they just went through the money part, and you say, you introduce your upline right away. I'm going to get on and go, hey, Atalia, how you doing? Great. Did you finish watching the video? Awesome. Fantastic. What did you like? Great. Hey, well, listen, I've got somebody on the phone with me here. I've got Samantha Janvin. She's one of the people that you heard her story in the success story video. Right? As a matter of fact, she made $20,000 in her first full month in the business. She's a single mom with 2 kids. And I told her all about you, and I told her that you were watching it. She said she just had to meet you. So I got her on the line here with me. Hey, Samantha, this is Atalia. Atalia, this is Samantha. And then I shut up and I let them talk. And Samantha's probably going to get her closed out and signed up for it. That's it, folks. It's just that simple. All right? So that's how you do the pgdsystem.com presentation. I wish I could make it more complicated, but it ain't. All right? It's just that simple. You schedule a follow-up with them, and that's the deal.